I call Meka Whaitiri.
Tēnā koe, Mr Chair, tēnā tātou katoa. Mr Chair, it's my privilege to take a call on part 2, the amendments to other enactments of this bill. And I've listened intently to all the contributions in the House tonight, and there are clearly some questions around, are we meeting our obligations, international obligations? So I want to reinforce that point on this side. Sir, when I look at the regulatory statement, it says in the very front that a lot of the proposals that we are putting up in this piece of legislation is untested, sir, and the point that I draw your attention to is the fact that we don't collect enough detailed data on the extent of organised crime in New Zealand, and so that somewhat limits whether we can properly evaluate the proposals put in here. But I just want to preface my contribution tonight with that statement, sir, that these proposals are untested. I think the intention as well, but like most things, it's the implementation, sir. And so it's to that end that I particularly want to draw the House's attention to the DNA testing of subsection 2, subpart 3, amendment to criminal investigations bodily samples, sir. And that section 27 amends the disclosure of information on DNA profile database. And hopefully, sir, in the time we've got, the Minister the Minister and the Chair may be able to give some assurances that I guess the extraction of DNA is important for many people to ensure that we are doing it in a not only a transparent way, but in a safe way, sir, so that we ensure that the DNA that we are taking is for the purposes that we are taking the samples for. And so I'd be interested in hearing from the Minister on how that's going to be conducted, who's going to be responsible for it, and to ensure, because we've had a history of DNA mixing in this country, and the outcome has not been very good for obviously those at the centre of it. So, sir, just with respect to this part, I'd invite the Minister to perhaps lay some fears around DNA testing, sir. The other one in my time to contribute in terms of part 2, part 2, sir, is the collection and monitoring of international funds transfer data, sir. And just by terms of outlining, I guess, the problem that this piece of legislation is trying to address, we talk about Anti-Money Laundering and Countering Finance or Terrorism Act, which is, I believe, came into effect in 2009. Came into force in June 2013. Sir, it enhances the existing regime and establishes a new supervisory regime to better detect, deter and investigate funds related to organised and financial crimes. Sir, in the 6-month period between the 1st of December 2009 and 31 of May 2010, a total of just over 2,300 suspicious transaction reports were received by the Financial Intelligence Unit from various financial institutes. So the majority of these were from registered banks.
Where does that come in?
Under the new AML-CFT Acts, banks and other institutions, financial institutions and casinos reporting entities will be required to report suspicious transactions to the Police's Financial Intelligence Unit, or FIU. However, the information that is reported can be limited due to the subjective and disparate nature of reports that are based on suspicion. So this can be a problem because they are subjective and they could be disparate, sir. So the options that are proposed in this piece of legislation is status quo. So under this option, reporting entities would only provide reports of suspicious transaction to the FIU. The option is not preferred, as debated by the Select Committee. While suspicious transaction reports are valuable on their own, so they are unlikely to fully address the high risk from wire transfer and cash deposits. Option 2 is international wire wire transfers and large cash transactions be reported to FYU.
Mr Chair.